So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our day four training. I believe everybody settled down and my audio is reaching to all. Can somebody confirm, please?
Yes, sir, I will.
Okay, thank you. Fine. So go to our sample case studies folder and the file name called case studies, what we have started already in day one, and we are going to complete that first. So open that case studies file. And if you recall, we have discussed up to our most important formula functions like VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, how to apply, what are the rules for VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, all these things we have seen on that, right? Now we'll go for our next sheet naming call over here, VLOOKUP with approximate match. So far what we have learned about only exact match. Now where to use this approximate match, or which was really being a mystery for quite long since the day we have learned VLOOKUP. Nobody has taught us this, what is this VLOOKUP with approximate match. And even you ask people, they are not clear themselves that what exactly it is. So this is one of the beautiful concept Microsoft has ever designed people. So we are going to look into that with a scenario. But before that, kindly confirm all of you have got the same worksheet opened in front of your screen. Right. Now, take a look at this data. We have got some vendor names, okay, and we have got quantity purchased over there, okay. Now, how much discounts we'll have to provide them? We are going to discuss that. So instead of vendor, we'll just change this to customer name because we are going to sell to the customers, not to the vendors, right? So change this name to the customer name, okay. Now over here, suppose somebody who purchase from 0 to 10 quantity, 2% we have to give discount. This is what our management has given a circular to us. So based on this circular, we have to award the discount percentage values over here. Now say, take an example, somebody purchased 49. Now which category, which bucket he is going to fall out of our discount, which range it is going to fall? Definitely 26 to 50. And how much is the discount percentage? 10%. Do you agree with me? Right. Similarly, somebody purchased 9 quantity. Which bucket he's going to fall? 0 to 10 category. Right. But so here, now the question, if you look at our data, we know if you look at one-to-one match, 49, is it matching anywhere? No. But we know that is falling in between one range. Okay. So this is how a simple thing, simple understanding you have. When the data is not having a one-to-one match, and even if the data is falling in a range, we have to pick up the value. Then in those cases, we have to use VLOOKUP with approximate match. Now, what type of data will be falling in the range? Obviously, the numbers only. It will be falling in the range. So we can apply VLOOKUP with approximate match for the numbers. For the timing, you can take it. Okay. Now, in this case, if it is so easy, then why we are not applying VLOOKUP with approximate match? See, VLOOKUP with the approximate match, though it seems easy, but it needs some different setup. You cannot apply just like that, like the way you do for VLOOKUP with exact match. So there are two rules need to be satisfied. Rule number one, the data what you are dealing with, it must contain a matrix. Now, what is the meaning by matrix? See, this is the data I have. Okay, the matrix is something 0, 11, and the moment I hit over here, this is called your matrix. Now, what is the meaning by matrix? Just see. So suppose somebody is not purchasing anything, definitely I cannot give discount to that. But we know if it is more than 0 but less than 11 should be 2%. If it is more than 11 but less than 26, we can go for 5%. So 26 and above, but less than 51, 20%. So like that, we can give the discount percentage, and this is what we know. So for that reason only, this is the understanding over here. You could notice it is provided. So if I go for over here, right? So this is nothing but the theoretical understanding for this matrix. So this matrix is mandatory. Without this, we look up with approximate match is not possible. So rule number one is satisfied. Now rule number two, whenever you design the matrix, it must be sorted. It should be an order. You could see it starts with 0, ending up with 76. So it's in a smallest to largest order. No problem. Rule number two is also satisfied. Now take a look at my screen. If I go for a formula is equal to VLOOKUP, taking the data from left and then going for over here, the entire range I have taken. Now I should lock it. Reason, when you copy this formula towards down, this range should not move down, isn't it? Now, comma, how many columns are there in the border area? One, two, three. Now, which column is containing the discount percentage is number three. Now, what kind of match we have been following so far is zero exact match.
Zero.
When I'm going for it, I'm not getting the answer. Can you see that? Because this 49 value, it is nowhere having a one-to-one match, but it is falling in a range. So whichever the range it falls in, based on that, it should give me the discount percentage. So if you look at 49 in which category, more than 22nd, 26, but less than 51. So it should be 10% category, but that is not coming because it is not having a one-to-one match. In this, it's never have a one-to-one match, right? So in this case, what we need to do, instead of one-to-one match, we should go for approximate match. So approximate match purpose one. So 0 stands for exact match, 1 stands for approximate match. Now when I go for it, can you see I'm getting the answer? But I'm getting the answer in terms of decimals, right? We are expecting the answer in terms of percentage, and we know how to do that. To convert any format to percentage format, day two, we discussed Control Shift 5, right? Now the same we can apply for others, and we got the answer. So this is how people, whenever there's a need, if your data is not having a one-to-one match and it is falling in a range, you can still go for VLOOKUP with approximate match and get the result. So this is called your VLOOKUP with approximate match. Give it a try. Very, very useful formula, people. Whenever you
So,
have got this kind,
just to
yeah,
confirm,
yeah.
sir, 0, 11, 26, 51, 76, from where this value you got from the value?
I got the value from here. The first values only
Okay.
0, 11, 26 only I picked up,
Okay.
only first values. So whenever you have discount, incentive, income tax calculations, where the data falls in a range, basically you can make use of this formula called VLOOKUP with approximate match. Hope it is working. Kindly confirm. Any difficulties, feel free to ask. So we look up with exact match, we look up with approximate match, exact match purpose 0, approximate match purpose 1, we should go for. And where to use approximate match, how to use it, what are the rules, we got the clarity on that, right? Now let us go for our next sheet, naming called advanced lookup. So we'll go and see when the situation is a bit complex, how to deal with the same or how to handle those situations. So first understand what is the data we have with us. See, suppose say my boss asked me, Prabhas, get me the entire employee related records. So I gave a respective P code in my SAP system and I could download near about 10,000 records. It comes like this. Now looking at the same, my boss is not happy. He told that, Prabhas, this data is of no use for me. You keep it with you. But for me, design a template in such a way, whenever I go and type any of the employee ID, the details should be available. Like ID is 004. Who is that person? Mr. D should be over here. Department, legal should over here. Position, manager should appear over here. And finally, salary 2000, it should populate over here. So this is what my boss is expecting. All right. Now, how to get that? Fine. Hope the ask is clear. What we need to do.
The above like name, department, position, salary to be copied in scenario one.
You'll copy and paste.
No, no, I will not copy. That is the scenario we have to do.
Yeah, we have to get the answer. And whenever he changes the employee ID, the corresponding detail should also change automatically because there are 10,000 people are there. So we should get it dynamic. This is what he's expecting. First of all, seeing the situation, which formula we should
Do
apply,
we, do we need to apply H lookup here because the data is in horizontal format?
which data is in horizontal format.
I mean, like row number three, row four, row five. So basically, for each and
So,
every ID, we have those details.
so here, see the concept again. That is what I told you. If you go for our VLOOKUP or HLOOKUP, what is that rules I told you? If you want to go for VLOOKUP, data has to be vertical. Which data? Master data has to be vertical format. So in our case, master data, which one? This master data. Employee ID, if I'm taking employee ID, in which format it is there? Column or row? Vertical or horizontal?
This is the vertical column wise.
So our data is ready for VLOOKUP. We
Mm.
cannot apply H lookup. This is what the statement. That's what I told you the other day. Always look for the rules. Hope it is clear why we need to go for VLOOKUP.
Yep.
Right. Now, the moment I go for VLOOKUP, in our master data, if you look at how many columns are there? One, two, three, four, five. Correct?
Yep.
In our master data, totally five columns are there. Now, in these five columns, if you look at over here in our data set, we are also looking for name, department, position, salary. So if you look at our master data, name is in which column?
Second.
Second. So we are expecting the column index number has to be 2. Do you agree? If I'm going for VLOOKUP, my column index number has to be 2 if I'm looking for the name. Do you agree?
Yep.
Now, similarly, when I go for department in master data, department in which column?
Yeah, 3.
3. And position?
I mean, 4.
4.
Yeah,
And salary?
5.
5. So basically, if I'm looking for VLOOKUP to apply over here, my column index number has to be 2, 3, 4, 5. This is nothing to do with our formula. I'm just creating all these things for to make you understand what exactly is our need. Okay. So 2, 3, 4, 5. First of all, is it a sequence? Is it a order? Is it a
Yeah.
chronological form? Yes or no?
Yeah, that's a 3.
Definitely. So
Mm.
when the data is in chronological order, instead of going to each and every column and applying VLOOKUP for multiple times and changing the column index number 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, and wasting our time, how to make an improvement on the same? How to create only one formula in such a way it will go and get all the records from our data set. So in this case, what you need to do, select along with me, just start working. Select your entire range where you want your solution and immediately go for equal to and go for VLOOKUP. Since we confirm the data is ready for vertical level master data, that's why we can go for VLOOKUP. So what it demands me, lookup value. So lookup value is what over here in my left, the employee ID. Now when I go for employee ID, you can notice it has taken a cell address of A11, correct? Now when I copy this formula towards right, A11 should not move to B11. I repeat, when I copy this formula towards right, A11 should not go to B11. But when I copy this formula towards down, A11 should go to A12. So what we do in that case? Which one we have to lock? Which one we have to keep it free? A should not change to B, but A4 should change to A5. You remember date formula we discussed? F4 3 times, making column lock because the data should move only within one column. So column should not get changed. That's why we made it as column lock by hitting F4 key 3 times. Comma. What's the next one? Table array. Where is the data? Data is there in our master data, complete data set, right? Now this range should not move down or move right. So we should lock it once, comma. This demands me column index number. COL stands for column index number. This is what we have already witnessed in our day 2 and day 3 as well. Okay. Now, how to make our column index number? How to make our column index number? So 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. We need all these four, but we can't define all these four numbers together. So what we can do, if you remember, in day 3, we have discussed something about a hidden formula of Microsoft Excel, right? Did the formula, day 2, we discussed. right? So here, the moment you go for 2, 3, 4, 5, since it is a chronological order, rather giving all the numbers together and getting nothing, what we can do, we can make use of a formula called column. Do you remember day one we discussed something about vendor evaluation, like small and large formula we used, and there was a k value purpose 1, 2, 3, and those 1, 2, 3 we have deleted since it was a helper column and we have replaced the same with the formula, right? Called row, since there was a demand to get the data in rows. Now the data is we are looking for in columns. So column should be changing. So column formula, when I go for it, what it does. So whichever the column I'm typing the formula, that number will be returned over here. So which column I'm trying to type the formula in column B. So when I go for selecting this entire column array and look at that, is it showing me exactly the same value? 2. Yes. And this is the same value we were looking for? Yes. So column formula gives me a number, and that number is going to become my column index number for VLOOKUP formula. Now, once this is done, since we are operating with VLOOKUP formula, then you go over here and put 0 for exact match. So formula is ready, only for a cell, need to apply for rest. Shortcut, Control, Enter, and you got your records ready. So this is how people, whenever you believe that your lookup value is matched and you are looking for the entire records, you can always go for this formula over there called HLOOKUP. So give it a try and check it's working. Check and kindly confirm all these things are working. Any doubt, any queries, because this will be very, very helpful when you design those summary report, dashboards, templates. So rather keep typing this VLOOKUP formula for multiple times, only one formula with combination of column. If it is done, kindly confirm or drop a message Y for yes. Or if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Fine then. So now we have understood our scenario one, how to solve that puzzle whenever you work with a formula called VLOOKUP, how to fetch multiple columns answer at once by using VLOOKUP with column combination. And this is again called as a nested formula. Now, once we got our answer ready, let's analyze the same situation. See, as I told you, this is a template, right? So template, we cannot have a sample case like this and we can keep it across or send it across to the next level. So template has to remain always blank. Now, if I go to my employee ID cell A11 and I delete, what happens? My formula shows some kind of error, right? And I told you in day two, like data clean one, whenever you have the errors in place, how to replace the same with some predefined text. But here, these errors are the formula driven errors. So now we cannot just retain these errors as it is because of data absence. We have to show something. So we have to ensure that as long as there's no data over here, the formula should not do any kind of actions or should not execute anything. So we need to just replace over here these errors with some kind of predefined text. Zero, hyphen, nil, not available, not applicable, something like that. Then only people will not ask any other further questions. But how to do that? Just watch my screen. So we need to select the entire solution area and we need to go for opening the formula. So whenever you have to handle your formula driven errors, you have to combine one more formula naming called if error. So look at my formula bar, if error. So if error is the formula which can be combined with any formula and the basic job is to replace all the formula driven errors. Okay. Now here, since we have applied if error, but first VLOOKUP will be applied by Microsoft Excel. Then only if error will come into picture. So since now we have applied if error, then what we are expecting in place of blanks or in place of errors, anything, you can define comma and now value if error. So whenever the hash na is there, what you're expecting. So if you want 0 hyphen nil not available, you must write within two double inverted quotes. But here we are not expecting anything since it's a template, it should remain blank. And blank purpose, we should go for two immediate double inverted quotes. So when I go for two double inverted quotes over here, bracket close, formula is ready only for a cell, need to apply for rest. And we know the shortcut, control, enter. See, as long as there's no data, my formula also remains silent. So over here, this is how the if erase the formula people can be combined with any formula and handle your formula driven errors. Okay. Now tomorrow when you go and just get some data from top, you copy and over here paste it. Did you receive your data? Yes. So this is how we have understood how to apply this if error formula over there. And if error is the formula can be combined with any formula to handle the formula driven errors. Check it out. Is it working? Kindly confirm. Any questions? Feel free to ask.
Sir, can you repeat it again, sir, please?
Yeah. So the purpose of when you go for deleting your data, the formula was throwing some kind of error. Did you remember? If there is no data, the
Yes, sir.
formula is throwing error. But if I say this
Yes, sir.
error and send it across to someone, looking at the error, people will ask a lot of questions. And this is not the ideal way of designing your template that by ready-made or without doing anything, it is showing or displaying the errors in place. This is not the ideal way of presenting the data. So what we need to do, we should go for selecting everything, the formula driven cells. And over here, if you look at in the formula bar, here we need to type if error. In the beginning, we need to type if error. So when I go for beginning and type if error, now, though if error is in the beginning, but first Excel will process VLOOKUP formula. And then if at all VLOOKUP returns an error, then our if error will be automatically applied. So what we need to do now, though we have declared that if error to be applied, but what we are expecting that also we need to define in place of those errors. So if you see at the end of the formula, I kept my cursor and defined comma. And what we are expecting, value if error, what you're expecting in place of that. So we want whatever, 0, hyphen, nil, we can define within two double inverted quotes. But since this is a template, we must go and define two immediate double inverted quotes. So that is nothing but specified as a blank cell. And bracket close. Then formula is ready only for a cell, need to apply for rest. Control, enter. And tomorrow, when you bring some data from the top and copy and paste it, you'll be finding your answer automatically comes over here. So this is called your VLOOKUP with if error combination.
So, sir, this if error, let's say that we want to compare two column values, and in the third column we need to just display the matching values, and if not, I mean if the match is not happening, then we want to display a particular message. Then that message in the formula which you have applied, so the last value, which is double quotes, so we can specify anything over there, right? Like
Yeah,
a
you can
mismatch.
cite not match. You can write
Hmm.
not match within that two double inverted quotes. You can write not
Hmm.
matched.
Got it. So this if error is applicable across,
Yes,
right?
yes. Any formula
Okay,
you can apply.
got it. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, no problem. Yes. Just try this and confirm it's working in the chat box. Y for yes or D for done. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. So can you take that? All are clear with VLOOKUP, column, and if error combination? All right. So here, how to solve this kind of problems we have seen. And as I told you, this will be very, very helpful whenever you design the templates or any kind of dashboard, summary report, you can use make use of this kind of formulas. Now take a look. Though we have got this kind of formulas ready, now suppose say watch my screen, no need to do anything. I have deleted my employee ID and I have sent it across this template to my boss. Now suppose say my boss started typing the data in employee ID, something like this. What is that? He just typing something like this, and this is not working. So immediately he got panicked and he called me. Prabhas, what kind of report you have prepared or template you have designed? It's not working. Now I have no idea where the thing it has gone wrong. Unless and until I leave my seat and going to his cabin and watching his laptop, I have no idea where the mistake happened. So when I did so, I could realize my boss has done a silly mistake. He did not type the data properly. You would have also noticed sometimes you design some formulated template, it happens with you. So in this case, no doubt I can go and solve the problem. But the time what I spent, I was in the middle of some work, I left it and I went to boss cabin and I explained him what and how to type it. Rather, I have already given the instruction, but he does not read that. So in this case, at the end of the day, my time is getting wasted. So my time is not my time, it's my organization's time, right? Now, who is held responsible for it? At the end of the day, there is a wastage of time. So who is held responsible? Definitely me, because boss is always right. There is no scope of blaming the boss at any point of time, isn't it? So where is the mistake? So mistake is, why did I allow boss to type the data? Because the mistake happens because I given the authority to type it, right? So if you want to prevent your errors to happen, if you want your control all these errors to happen like this, then the best option, do not allow people to type it. Just give you options to select it. So their job will be also easy, and you don't need to go and keep working with or repeatedly checking the options. So now the question is to create a drop down list. If I want to, if I want allow them to select something, I need to have a drop down. Now to create a drop down, keep your cursor in this employee ID cell. Go to data menu. We have an option called data validation. Data validation. Okay. So when you go for data validation, it will take you to a dialog box, something like this, where validation criteria allow it shows any value. Rather, go to the drop down and choose list, because we are going to create a drop down. So list is necessary. Now, when I go for list, it will be giving me a box over here. Where is the source? So the list what you want to create over here, where is the source? So source is nothing but this A3 to A7, the entire employee ID details. Now, once this is done, I'll click OK. Now, can you see a drop down will be ready? So my boss will be having only one job. He can select this drop down and entire employee records will be available. So whichever the employee he looks for or he wants to see, just he has to select and details will be ready. If tomorrow he's looking for something else, he can select and details will be ready. See how the things have become more dynamic now, and there's no chance of committing mistake. And even though suppose my boss is not listening to me and he's still trying to type his of your own, like ID 004, what happens? Excel give you a tight slap. Follow the instructions. Don't type of your own, right? So this is how you can always create this kind of drop down list and you can control the errors to happen. Give it a try. Check drop down is working. Where it is in the data validation. Any difficulties, do let me know.
If I want to give the formula to whole of the sheet, so it is possible because I'm trying for this row number two, it is not getting pasted.
No, no, you have to drag it. You have to just simply drag it. This formula, you have to drag it like this. And then you have to drag the drop down as well. Now go to the drop down and select something else. You will be getting that details also.
So,
Uh, I'm not seeing that drop down option. I have selected data validation and then I am seeing that pop up. So what exactly for this drop down I need to select from the value?
Allow list. Allow validation criteria. One drop down is there. You should choose
Hmm.
list.
List. Got it.
Yeah.
And then it is saying source.
Source.
Yeah.
Yes. So source, you have to select your A3 to A7, that entire employee IDs.
Okay.
Yeah.
A3. Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I believe everyone is clear with our scenario one, whatever the operations we did. As I told you, this is very, very essential. So taking the live data, you have to keep practicing upon the same concept you are understood. What are the elements in the formula, how to utilize the same logics are also clear. Let's go for our next situation. Suppose this is the same master data we have. Now what my boss is saying, Prabhas, get me the details of ID 003. Same thing like name, department, position, salary is there. Here also name, department, position, salary is there. But only thing is now I'm looking for ID 003 details. So as I told you, when the data is in the same sequence, we can go for VLOOKUP with column combination. Just watch my screen, no need to do anything as such. So I'll go for is equal to VLOOKUP, taking the data, making column lock, comma, table array. So I'll select the entire table array, and this data should not move down or move right. Yes, comma. Column index number. So as I told you, since column index number is in sequence 2, 3, 4, 5, I can go for column formula. So when I go for column formula, comma 0, bracket close, formula is ready only for a cell. But I need to apply for rest. What is the shortcut we learned? Control Enter. But our problem starts over here. Why? Earlier case it was working fine, but here why we are not getting the answer? Did you do anything mistake? No, everything is fine. So where is the problem? The problem is in the column. So this is where again you have to be bit careful when your situation is changing or you are applying VLOOKUP between two different Excel sheets or two different Excel file. If your location is changing, though it is in the same sequence, but column formula, which column you are trying to type the formula, just try to understand. So we are trying to type in H column. So H is the alphabet, but count if you make it, what is the number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we are in now eighth column, right? So if you go for the column formula and you try to check, I told you how to check all these things. It shows me 8. Can you see that? But technically, in our master data, name is in which column? In the border area, name is in the second column. So we are getting 8, but we are expecting 2. So what we can do, basic mathematics, minus 6, right? So automatically it will pick the value from column number 2, correct? So formula is rectified only with one cell, but we need to apply for rest, control, enter. So since I am not selected, now I'll go and select control, enter. See? So this is what you have to be careful, Bitu, over here. Whenever you try to apply the formula between two different Excel files or two different Excel sheets, though the data is in the same sequence, but slightly you need to tweak the column number. Check it out. So any difficulties, feel free to ask. All right. Now we'll proceed to our scenario number 3. So here take a look. Same master data only there, but we are looking for the details of ID 005. So here the situation is a bit different. We are no more looking for the name first. We are looking for department, then salary, then name, then position. So basically, if you look at the columns are assorted. Now, if this is the situation, how to deal with? So first of all, as I told you, in our master data, how many columns are there? Total 5. Now, if I'm looking for department, which column it is there in the department? The master data. If you're looking for department, which
Three.
column it is there? 3. So if I'm going for VLOOKUP, I am looking for column index number as 3. Do you agree?
Yep.
Right. Similarly, if I go for salary, in my master data, salary in which column?
Fifth.
So I am going for my VLOOKUP purpose, column index number 5. Similarly, name should be second, position should be 4. Do you all agree with this? If you are looking for VLOOKUP formula to apply, your column index number has to be like this, 3524. Do you agree with that?
Yep.
Right. Now, first of all, 3524, is it a sequence? Is it a order?
It's an order, not the sequence.
It's odd even.
No, I'm just asking, is it in order?
No, no,
One
no.
sequence? No, right? So 3524 is not in a sequence or it's not in an order. So VLOOKUP with column cannot be applied because VLOOKUP with column will be applicable only if your data is there in a sequence or in a series. So here, since my data is not in series, I cannot apply VLOOKUP with column. So first option is ruled out. Second, can we do the cut paste work? Like we'll cut department and we'll bring it in the salary place. We'll bring salary in the position place like that, we can bring it to a proper series. And can we apply VLOOKUP with column up to that doing a cut paste work? Is it a idle process? Doing the cut paste work and adjusting the columns, do you think it's a great idea?
Yeah.
We can do the cut paste, but is it a great idea? My question is simple. Today I am 3 to 4 columns I'm having. I can do the cut paste work for my easy access or easy problem solution purpose. But if you work with your real-time data, when you download the data from SAP or ERP, there might be 80 to 90 fields. Out of that, 35 fields, suppose you need to adjust like this. While doing the cut paste work, somewhere will be lost and entire data will be in toss. So this is definitely not a great idea, what we are thinking of. Now, option three. Do you think that VLOOKUP has the power to get the column index number in this format, 3524? If that is the case, then why we are struggling over here? Why we are taking the help of column formula? So VLOOKUP alone is not again helpful for us people in this situation. We need to add more power to our VLOOKUP formula. Now, what is that additional power? What is that extra power? First, let's have the understanding. See, take a look, just 3 to 4 line items, leave it down and type a text called Jan and drag it up to December. December. Is it ready? Now, take a look at my screen. No need to do anything. In this highlighted block, if you see how many variables we have, Jan to December, it's of 12 variables. We know simply we can say. Now, if I ask you, what is the location of May? Or what is the position of May? What you'll say? You'll start counting Jan as 1, Feb as 2, like that. The moment you reach May, you'll be getting the answer 5. Do you agree with me? So you'll be saying May is in the fifth position of this entire highlighted range. This is how it's supposed to be your answer. Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. So now this is what we have done manually. Okay. Now same thing if I'm going to do it in Excel. What Excel is going to do, I will tell you. Just say Excel will be taking the help of a match formula. First, watch my screen. Match formula, what it does, it demands me lookup value. Like VLOOKUP asks for lookup value, HLOOKUP asks for lookup value, match also asks for lookup value. And I told you what we have with us to search is nothing but our lookup value, comma. Then it asks me lookup array. What VLOOKUP was asking, next input, anybody?
It will be asking for the data, like where exactly you need to match.
No, no, no. What is that input? Like I am discussing over here inputs. Match
Yeah,
formula
5.
asks for lookup array, lookup array. What VLOOKUP was asking as a second element in the formula. VLOOKUP was asking for table array. Did you remember? VLOOKUP was asking for table array, right? So HLOOKUP asked for also table array. But if you remember our small and large formula, they were asking for array. So remember one thing, in Excel, any formula demands array or table array is nothing but the combination of rows and columns. If your formula demands array or table array, it can be taken as the entire combination of rows and column. But if your formula is demanding lookup array, it can be a complete column or complete row. It cannot be both. So in our case, how is our data? It's there in a particular column, so I can take the entire column. All right. So what is lookup array? I believe it's clear now. Comma. Then match type. How VLOOKUP ends up with, we discussed 0 for exact match. HLOOKUP also ends up with 0 called exact match. Similarly, match also ends up with 0 called as exact match. Now, can you see the same result what we have identified manually? Our match also gives to us, right? So what match formula does for us, let's have a discussion. Match formula, taking the cell value as an input, it finds out the cell location or cell position as the answer. Now, if I go over here and change May to something else, September, what will be my answer? If I change May to September, what will be my answer? Obviously, 9. If I go for December, what will be my answer? In this array, December in which cell?
12.
12. So we'll
12,
get 12. If I go for Feb,
2.
we got it. If I go for May, we got the answer 5. So this is basically our match formula. Give it a try. Hope it is clear what is match function. Any difficulties or any question running in your mind? Yes, people, match is working. Kindly confirm. So here you can take a look. Match formula gives an answer in number. Okay. Column formula also gives the answer in number only. Just think like a layman. You don't need to have any other extraordinary thought process. So match formula gives the answer in number, and column formula also gives the answer in number. Column formula where to use when the data is in sequence. Where the data is not in sequence, what we should do? We should use match. This is the only difference. So rest of logics are same. We look up, but we in place of column, we have to use match. So let us take that call. Selecting the entire array, whatever you have, where you need the answer, go for equal to VLOOKUP. Now what it demands me, lookup value. So lookup value is in my left. Yes. Now that should be column log, since we are going to apply the formula towards right and towards down tomorrow it may be. Now, comma, it demands me table array. So where is my data? Data is complete data A2 to E7. Now this data should not move down or should move right also as well. So, comma, now this is asking column index number. So column index number is 3524. So is it in a sequence? No. So we cannot apply column formula. So since it is not in sequence, we need to use the match formula. Now, just for the timing, feel that you do not have any other thing except match. So you're writing the match, give your entire focus to match formula. Forget that there is a VLOOKUP formula you are writing. Okay. Now what match formula does, it asks for lookup value. So what is our lookup value over here? Anybody?
It will be ID.
So employee ID is our lookup value, but that we have already given to our VLOOKUP. So technically we have nothing, but we have something. What is that? Taking the department column header as a lookup value. Okay. Can I go and search lookup array in my master data, the first row item? Taking the department column header, can I go and search in the column headers in my master data? Yes, that can be done. So when I'm going to search all these things, this array should not move down or move right. So we should lock it, comma. What kind of match we have been following? I told you we should go for exact match. Now this match function will be picking a number. Now what number it is going to give the answer? Just see. Taking department, when I go and check in this entire array, how many cells are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So department is in which position? Of course, it is third. So match formula will be giving me 3. Let's go and check match. Is it giving me 3? Yes. And is it the same number we were expecting the moment we started the discussion? Right. So match whatever the number it gives, that number will become my column index number for VLOOKUP formula, comma. So now what formula is demanding? Range lookup. Since we are writing match formula inside VLOOKUP, so VLOOKUP also end up with exact match 0. Now bracket close for VLOOKUP formula. Yes, formula is ready only for a cell, but we need to apply for others. What is the shortcut we learned? Control Enter. So now our problem starts. We do not get the answer. Why? Let's go and take a call. We have defined the lookup value with column log. Entire array is also logged. Match was giving the answer we confirmed. VLOOKUP also end up with exact match. That is also clear. Then why we are not getting answer? So this is what the situation people you are going to face sometimes. Though your formula or function is 100% accurate or correct, still you will not be getting the answer. So in those cases, no need to be panic. What you can do, I'll tell you, you can simply go back to your data and check once. Is there any problem in my data? Could be the case, we never know. So what kind of problem you may come across, I'll tell you, just see. The data, if you look at, it seems there are total 6 characters are available. But technically, if you count by using the len function, it will be giving you the exact number of characters available in that cell. So can you see that? Seeing when you count, it says shows 6, but technically there are 7. So there is one unprintable, unwanted character looks like a space but may not be a space. So don't be so judgmental. Definitely there would be a space. Okay. So how to confirm that if at all there is a space or not? See, if you have space, there is a formula in our Excel naming called trim, which basic job is to remove the unwanted spaces from our data. So I'll go and check this cell, hit enter. Now this is cleaned. Let me again confirm. Now with len, what is happening? Is it showing exactly 6 characters? So now I can confirm that there was a extra space, and because of that, my data was not having one-to-one match, and we are not getting the result. All right. Now how to rectify the same? So you can ask me a question, Prabhas. First, do I need to go for a data cleansing activity separately? Then I should go for VLOOKUP? No. So when you come to know your data is containing some kind of extra spaces, or it may be in multiple cells, don't go for a separate activity of data cleansing. What we are going to do, we are going to make our formula efficient enough in such a way, it will first clean that unwanted characters, and that cleaned value will become the input of our formula. But how? Take a look. I will select my entire formula. I'll open this. Now, in this entire formula, which element is in trouble? Which element has got some trouble? We have explored that. Yes, anybody? In this formula,
So an ID, no? Employee ID.
right. So what is that cell reference in the formula if you see? The blue color one,
Oh,
$G11,
11, yes.
right? So thus that entire setup we should retain within trim, and automatically the data will be cleaned by the formula itself, and it will be used as an input in VLOOKUP formula. Match is giving the result, we know. So this is how we have understood how to combine multiple functions. And once a formula is ready with one cell, then we need to apply to the rest of the cells. Control, enter. Now see, though we do not have the data cleaned, but still we are able to fetch our answer. So this is how people, this formula combination VLOOKUP with match will be very helpful whenever you search your data something in vertical and horizontal as well. You can go for this kind of formula, and this is going to bring you the results. So whenever you have dashboard templates also, you can make use of this formula. And trim formula, again, can be used in any formula. And the basic job is to remove the unwanted spaces from the data. So kindly give it a try. Check, is it working? Any difficulties, feel free to ask. So is it working? Any doubt, any queries, or any confusion in this? As I told you, it's very powerful combination of people. We look up with match. So is it working? Can I take that? Fine. Now we are going to discuss some more logical functions of our Excel. So go to the sheet name called nested if. Go to the sheet name called nested if. So we are going to discuss some logical formulas and functions of our Excel, and this is how it is going to play any role in our routine activities and how to make use of the same. We are going to discuss about that. Take a look. We have a score, and we need to check if the person scores more than 50, result should be pass, else fail. So to check the same, we have to go for a simple if formula over here. Okay, how to deal with that? How to write the formula? Simple is equal to if logical test. We have seen a glimpse of that in our day one as well. So going to logical test. So logical test purpose, we need to depend upon a cell and then we need to check, is it greater than 50? Now, comma, value if true. Now, if this is true, what is the answer? Answer should be pass. So pass is our own text we must define within two double inverted quotes, comma. Value if false. So if the person is not pass, what is the ultimate answer? Fail. So fail is again our text we can go for within two double inverted quotes, fail. Right? Now the moment I hit enter, answer we got it. Right? Now, if I go and check that less than 50 some score like 35, answer is it changing? Fail? Yes. If I go for something more than 50, so 65, am I getting answer pass? Yes. What if I define 50? What will be my answer? If I look at it shows fail. So if suppose somebody score 50, would you be so rude enough to declare him fail? No. But Excel doesn't have the emotions. Okay, Excel works with the logic. So the logic what you have defined, based on that, the answer is only going to be fail only. But if you want to rectify the logic, like if suppose somebody is scoring 50, I should also give the answer as pass or award him pass. Then you have to precisely give the condition greater than equal to. So when you go for greater than equal to over here, that makes a condition 50 or more than 50. If suppose somebody scores, answer should be pass over here. So this is how people, whenever there's a need, how to write a simple logical formula for Excel, we have got the basic understanding. Check it out. Any difficulties in understanding? So any doubt, any queries in this? All good? Right. Now we'll go for our next question. See, suppose say there are two new joinees in our department, and my boss asked me, Pravas, why don't you conduct a test for those two people? They have shown some previous employers' experience, so let us check it out how much competency they have. So when I conducted one assessment, they have got this score. A has scored 50, B has scored 90. I'm just checking the scores. In the meantime, my boss immediately came from the back and stated one answer. He just expressed one statement. What is that? Score of A is more than score of B, or A has scored more than B. He has expressed some answer like this. So obviously, score of A 50, is it greater than 90? No. So I can tell to my boss immediately, sir, whatever the statement you are passing, it's a false statement. But if I do so, what will be happening? It will hurt his ego. So I don't want to take any kind of risk. I just want Excel to throw the result, checking the condition like whatever the statement he has passed. It's a true statement or it's a false statement. So what Excel will do, Excel will be taking the help of again if formula, taking the score of A greater than score of B. This becomes your logical test. If it is true, answer should be true. If it is false, if it is false, then answer should be false. But that we should write within two double inward quotes since it is our own text. So this is how, when you go for it, the statement itself, it is false statement, we can make out. This is what our experts there suggest us to do the job like this. I mean, anybody, 95% users across the globe, they will suggest you go and do this job like this. But I do not recommend. I told you the reason also. In day one, if you recall, I told you in any Excel file, the more the if formula, file size will be more. So this is the reason why I do not recommend to write if formula over here. Then how to get the answer? You can go for a simple logic. Just say equal to score of A greater than score of B. Simple. A operator, this is called your arithmetical operator. This arithmetical operator will be acting like a if formula. And the moment you hit enter, is it giving the same answer? Right? So now you tell me, being a audience, if you want to look at which formula you prefer to see, option one or option two?
Second.
Definitely. So this
Second
is
one.
how people, yes, nobody wants to see the lengthy formulas. So this is how you have to be a bit careful while writing or designing the formula in Excel. Just try this, check it's working,
So,
kindly confirm.
so if the marks are like vice versa, like A has 90 and B has 50, so the formula will be the same, or like
Yeah, it will be the same.
we
See,
have to change the sign.
if we are not dealing with our scores. We are just emphasizing upon the statement. Check whether
Okay.
A is greater than B. Now, in that case, suppose A has 90, B has 50. If you are checking the same, so it will be a true statement because A has scored 90, B has scored 50. If you interchange, then the formula will throw the result. True, right?
So,
Yeah. Now we'll go for our next situation called nested if. So this is again very much needed in our routine activities while designing any kind of templates or when you're doing any kind of assessments, anything, you may be in need of that formula combinations. So let's go and discuss how to deal with. Take a look, we have a score. We need to check if the person scores less than 25, answer should be fail. If he scores more than 25 but less than 50, answer should be C. If he scores more than 50 but less than 75, answer should be grade B. If he scores more than 75, answer should be grade A. So this is how we have the conditions. Now look at the score, and if you just read all these conditions, what would be the output? Anybody?
We can use the above formula, if formula,
Yeah,
pass
but
and fail.
answer what it should be. For 79, what should be the answer?
It will be A
Right. So this is what I was
because it is
asking.
above.
Right. So answer should be A, but how to get that? Right. So here in this kind of scenario, people, we commit a lot of mistakes. We'll do a lot of trial and error and taking different permutation combination. Finally, we get success. So why we don't get success with one time itself? Why we can't design a formula with proper logical flow? Because there is a problem with our approach. So we are not going to commit that mistake anymore. So if this kind of situation is there, people, how to start with? First of all, take a look how many conditions we have. One, two, three, four. So ideally, we know as such to write a condition, we need to depend upon one if formula. So four conditions, four if formulas. But that is needed if I'm going to write for all formulas in four different cells. But our objective is we need to write all these four formulas in one cell. So in this case, total number of conditions, 4 minus 1, means 3 if formulas we must write. This is your starting point. Well, then how to write all these 3 if formulas? For that, you need to follow a rule. There should be a proper logical flow of your formula. What is the meaning by logical flow? You can start with fill, end with grade A, or you can start with grade A, end with fill, but there should be a proper logical flow. So how to start with? As we discussed, start working with if formula. Okay. Logical test, taking the score less than 25. First, watch my screen. Then it demands me value if true. So if this is true, then what should be the answer? Answer is fail. Do you all agree with me? So far clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, what is the formula demanding? See, formula is demanding value if false. So if the person is not fail, ultimate answer is pass. But we cannot go on right within two double inverted quotes pass over there because our problem starts there. If the person is passed, which bucket, which category it is going to fall? Is it C or B or A? So that logical flow we have to give it over here. So first, after fail, what is the next possible category? Grade C. Grade C purpose, what's the condition? More than 25 but less than 50. How to define that condition? More than 25 but less than 50. We can go for one more if formula and then take the score less than 50. So here people always get confused. What they do, they go for greater than 25. So that makes Excel confused. If you have taken less than 25, taking the maximum limit, you should take less than 50 as a maximum limit. So that makes the condition more than 25, but less than 50. Now, if this is true, what should be the grade? Grade should be C. Since C is our own text, we can go for that within two double inverted quotes. Come on. What is the next one it is asking? Value if false. So if the person is not in grade C category, then if the person is not in between 25 to 50, then it may be in grade B. So grade B purpose, what's the condition? More than 50, but less than 75. So start one more if formula and taking the score again, less than 75. If this is true, so what should be the grade? Should be grade B. Now, just see, suppose the person is not fail, neither falling in the category of grade C nor falling in the category of grade B. If none of these conditions are true, what is the ultimate answer? I repeat, if none of these conditions are true, what is the ultimate answer? Is grade A correct? So grade A purpose, we don't need to go and write another if formula. Simply within two double inverted quotes, we should write A. Now think about it. How many if formulas we have written? One, two, three. As I told you, total number of condition minus one if formula we should write. Now, ideally all these if formulas are open. So what do we need to do? We need to close them with three close brackets. And this is how people, when you write multiple if statements in one single cell, that becomes your nested if formula. Check it out.
But here we don't need to write like equal to sign, no? More than or equal to sign.
No,
Because if the students,
because suppose say somebody is scoring 25, then it's pass, no. So less than 25 only fail.
okay.
Fine. Is it clear? Any doubt, any queries? All right. Now let us go for and discuss another two logical formula for Excel, naming called and or. So these formulas are very rarely in use, but yes, how and way to use. Let's discuss that. See, and or formula comes into picture when you want to check more than one condition. Okay. So and formula, what it does, it checks each and every conditions, and if all are certified, if all are satisfied or all are true, then only the answer will be true. Again, I repeat, for AND formula, all the conditions are to be satisfied, then only it will return the answer true. If any condition is not satisfied, it will give the answer false. So let's go and check it out. Is equal to AND logical 1. So our second example, score of A, will take it and will type greater than 30. Just type as it is, we'll check that. Don't worry. Then score of B will check less than 60. Okay. Just wait there. After typing, wait there. Score of A, 50. Is it greater than 30? We are checking. Is it greater than 30? 50 is greater than 30. Yes. So technically answer is true. B score 90. Is it less than 60? So 90 is definitely not less than 60. So answer is false. So one is true, one is false. We are operating with and I told you and purpose all the conditions are to be satisfied. Since one is not satisfied, what will be the answer? Answer will be false. So we got that, right? So this is how people we have understood how this and formula works. Check it out. Similarly, if you want to go for OR formula, same logic only we are going to check, but with OR. So what it will be giving the result, I'll tell you. What OR formula does, it goes and checks all the conditions. If any condition is satisfied, I repeat, if any condition is satisfied, ultimate answer, it will be giving true. So now take a look. Score of 50. Is it greater than 30? Yes. So technically answer is true. So Excel is not going to bother about checking the rest of conditions. Since first condition itself is satisfied, so ultimate answer is true. So if you go and hit enter, can you see it gives true? So that's your OR formula, people. Okay. So as I told you, this formula is very rarely in use, but yes, how to use, where to use, we got some basic understanding. Check it out. Is it working? All right. So kindly save all your files. With this, we'll go for a short break. And in my system, it is 3:46 dot 4 o'clock. Again, we'll be back and we will discuss the rest. So have a cup of tea or coffee. Come back soon by 4 p.m. max, and we'll continue. All right, so I believe everybody's back. Could you please respond in the chat box or unmute to speak? Sorry for yes. Fine. Now let's go and discuss about the next sheet naming called sum and count. So we are going to discuss some more formulas which will be helping us again while designing the dashboard, summary report, or tabular reports or templates, how to make use of the same. Let's see. So we have got five columns of data like date of training, name of the person or employee, department they belong to, salary they draw, and training expenses incurred upon them. Now, taking all these five columns into reference, we need to answer all these six questions. First of all, if you look over here, okay, date of training. This date column, you can find it is not in proper date format. So how to bring it? I told you a keyboard shortcut yesterday in day one also as well. To convert any format to date format, what it was? Control Shift 3. So our date is ready. Fine. Now the first question it is demanding over here that count occurrence of department IT. So in department column, how many times IT department is appearing that we have to count and state the result. So basically criteria based counting to be done. So we have a ready-made formula people naming called count if. So whenever you have a criteria based counting to be done, you can go for count if. So count if. Now, what it demands me range. So which range we have to check? As I told, we have to check with the department. And I told you, when you select your whole column and reach to the bottom again to come back, control backspace, comma. Criteria is the IT department. So you can write within two double inverted quotes IT. So since it is our own text, we have to write like this. Now it is showing us 22 cases. So IT department is appearing for 22 times. So this is called our criteria based counting over here. Yes, Venkatesh, any question from your side?
No, sorry, my hand is
Okay,
raised.
no problem, no problem. So kindly confirm your count if is giving the result same 22. right? Now go to the second one, count salary less than 1,50,000. So which column we have to deal with? Salary column. And wherever it is less than 1,50,000 cases are there, we have to count and state the result. So again, criteria based counting to be done. So we have a formula, count if. Then what it is demanding is over here, range. So which range we have to deal with? Of course, the salary. Then criteria. What's the criteria? Less than 1,50,000. So here you have to always remember, if your conditions are like less than, greater than, less than equal to, greater than equal to, not equal to, something like that, you must define within two double inverted quotes. Okay. So answer is 57. Again, criteria based counting. We got the answer. Check. Are you getting the same output or you are getting a different answer? Fine. I believe you are getting the same. All right, so we'll go for our third question. It asks for some salary for department finance. So which column we have to deal with? First, the department column. Need to check wherever finance is there, then corresponding salary, we have to make a total. So basically criteria based sum to be done. So we have a formula naming called sum if. क्या पूछा? Is so which range we have to deal with? First the department we have taken. Then what it says over here, criteria. What's our criteria? Finance. So there are two ways. Either we can go to a particular department name where finance is there. I can take a cell reference, or I can type within two double inverted quotes as finance over there. Choice is yours. Now this is asking sum range. Which range you will be applying the sum formula? It is in the salary column. And the moment you hit 10, sorry, 12,17,876. So this is how people, we have got a basic understanding how to write our criteria based sum any point of time, and that's called our sum if formula. Can you check? Are you getting the same? So is it clear? Can you please confirm? All right. Now let's go for the question number 4. What it says over here is, if you look at some salary above 2 lakh US dollar, means in salary column, wherever more than 2 lakh cases are there, and what is the total salary of that, we need to make it. So basically criteria based sum to be done again. So we can go for sum if is our salary, we can take it. Then it does me criteria above 2 lakhs. So within two double inverted quotes, above 2 lakhs, we should go for. And then what it demands me, some range. Which range will be applying the sum formula in the same salary only. So there is no point presenting our data again, taking the same range as one more time to define our sum range. Since our range and sum range is the same range, we can complete our formula with criteria itself. And this is one technique also you can remember that is going to help you in reducing the formula length, and file size also will not be having. An answer you will be receiving, well, 18 lakhs 42,219, more than 2 lakh cases salaries. Fine. So question number 4 answer, is it clear? Fine. Now, once we have got with this, let's go to the second. Some salary more than 50,000 rupees, but less than 1,50,000 rupees. Like in salary column, we need to check wherever it is more than 50,000, but less than 1,50,000 cases, what is the total salary? So basically criteria based sum to be done, we know, but the criteria is more than one. So whenever you have more than one criteria based sum to be done, sum if will not be helping us. We have to go for a formula sum ifs, IFS, very powerful, but little bit peculiar also. People always commits a lot of mistake in this formula. So how to write this formula without any error? Just say it gives me some range. So which range will be applying the sum formula in the salary column? Then what it demands? Criteria range 1. So as per the question, what is the first criteria? More than 50,000. But it is asking where you are going to search. So this is the place where people does a mistake. They believe it is asking criteria and they define more than 50,000. But this is asking criteria range 1. So whatever your first criteria, where to search? Again, we have to search in the salary only, right? So we should go and check from the salary again. Now, what it demands me? Criteria 1. So as per the question, what is the first criteria? More than 50,000. So within two double inverted quotes, we can write more than 50,000. So that becomes my criteria 1. Now what demands me? Criteria range 2. So whatever your second criteria less than 1,50,000, where to search? Again in the salary only, right? So it is asking criteria 2. So what is the second criteria? Less than 1,50,000. So within two double inverted quotes, we can write within like less than 1,50,000. Answer will be 48 lakhs 8,293. So this is called multiple criteria based sum. At any point of time, if you do people, you can go for the formula called sum ifs. As I told you, very powerful, but bit peculiar. So you have to be very careful while writing the formula. Try this. Any difficulties, do let me know. So is it working? Great. Now, you know over here right now how to write count if, how to write sum if, how to write sum ifs. All these things are clear. Please find the answer for question number 6. So you have got 2 minutes. So please find the answer for question number 6. And once you receive the answer, do let me know. So answer should be 1,09,393. If you are getting, then you are in the right track. If you are not getting, just look at my formula and where you have committed the mistake, try to rectify that. And if it is not clear, do let me know. I will explain. So I believe all these formula functions are clear. Sum if, count if, sum ifs. Any difficulties, anybody? If it is done, kindly confirm. Fine. So kindly save all your files. We are done with our all the necessary formula and functions, people. And these are the formulas which I have told you. Definitely we need on our day-to-day activities, whatever the task you do. So taking the live data, keep practicing about all these things. And trust me, you can save a lot of time and avoid the duplication of work. Now go to our sample case studies folder. There is a file called chart tech. So now we are going to discuss about how to present our data in a graphical format so that we can present our data in a beautiful story. The people who are not interested to see the boring numbers, how our visuals is going to add more value to our reports and how they will be happy watching the same. We are going to discuss all these things. Okay, so go for that. So we have a sheet called quick chart. We have a sheet called quick chart over here. Take an example. Suppose these are the products we have sold during the year and this much of revenue we have made it. So we have two columns, no doubt. Now in this, select your data, keeping your cursor anywhere, Control A. And if my boss asks me, plus, why don't you plot a graph out of this? So I can simply select and go for a keyboard shortcut, Alt F1. So when you press Alt F1, can you see with immediate node is beautiful chart turns up. So Alt F1 is the quick keyboard shortcut to plot a graph over there. Okay. If it is not your direct key, go with function Alt F1. Kindly confirm all of you are getting the same.
But can you show it again because I missed it out this point.
Just keyboard shortcut Alt F1. Select your data and go for Alt with F1 key. Alt F1. If it is not your direct key, go with function Alt F1. So you will be getting this kind of charts over here. All right. Now the chart, whatever we have got it, people, no doubt it is looking okay. But how to make it better? If you remember in day three, our pivot table case, I told you, when you have the chart in place, first thing first, what you need to do, we have to go to our chart design and which style? The last one. The last one, I told you it will be giving you some kind of glossy impact, embossing effect, or shadow impact. That's why the last one. Then what did I say? The next immediate step, inside the chart area, unwanted grid lines are available. So to remove the same, click on the plus symbol and go for grid lines to deactivate. Okay. So these are the two minimum formatting you must do whenever you have to prepare it or plot a graph out of any sort of data. Now, once the chart in place, okay, suppose my boss asks me, Pravas, all the products are looking identical. Why don't you do something and give a proper feeling by differentiating the data into multiple colors? So instead of one particular color, identical color, boss is expecting each and every column should have multiple colors. So how to do that? Just see the beauty. Right click anywhere in the column inside the chart area. Right click anywhere in over here in the column area, just right click and you will be having an option called format data series. And there the very first icon deals with your files. Okay, in that fill, you'll be finding that very colors by point checkbox is there. So that checkbox you have to activate and immediately you'll be finding each and every boxes, whatever the columns you had, is it populated with over multiple colors? Yes. So this is how we have made our chart presentation better, right? Now, though we made it better, but people are not going to like it because this is an outdated version of your chart. Then how to make it better? See, first of all, the moment you have the chart in place, always ensure you are making it more informative by simply right click on any column and add data labels. All right. So go for right click on any of the column and go for add data labels. So immediately each and every column wise, you can see respective value will be embedded in the top of each and every column. Now, once you have the data labels, you can select one of the data label. You'll be finding all the data labels are in selection. Okay. So here, make little bit, make it bold, Control B, B for bold, and increase the font size a bit so that people can read what they're explaining or expressing over here. Okay. Now, the latest style of our data presentation, it says that if you are maintaining your access scale, then there is no point of having data labels. If you are maintaining your data labels, there's no point of having our access scale. So technically, if you look at both, which one is giving more value to our report? Obviously, the data labels. So what you're supposed to do with the access scale, select it and just delete it. So access scale, no more playing role. Now, coming to our chart title. If you see the chart title, it is in center. That was a day, I mean, those days are gone when the people would prefer to see the chart title in the center. Nowadays, if you read any Economic Times newspaper or see Big Four's presentations on McKinsey and Co. Bain and Company, you will be finding the chart title always in the right side of the chart area. So this is our latest style. Now, when you have the data in place, as I told you, when you present as it is, nobody likes it. Nowadays, the audience is having a different level of expectation. So what they say over there, that from us, when you are presenting it, they will asking me, my audience, when you are presenting data, make sure your data speaks a beautiful story. So how to present my data in a beautiful story format? Let's see. Just select your data over here and go for data sorting, Alt D S, right? Now sort by USD column, order largest to smallest, and click OK, right? Now can you see those who are watching my data, they can simply make out that from cocoa powder we got the maximum revenue, and from our custard powder we got the least revenue. So whoever is watching our chart also, they can make out what I'm trying to present it. And in case of my absence, if anybody from my teammate is presenting, people are not going to struggle in understanding the answers about it, right? So this is how people we have understood how
So
to.
how to make the greater to lower, how you have made it, because the voice was not clear.
So selecting everything. Just let me check. My voice was not clear.
So there
Okay.
was a problem from my end, sir.
Okay. Okay. So rest of people, you are able to hear my voice. Nobody else is facing the trouble, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So selecting our product and USD column completely along with the header, right click on that, go for sort, custom sort. And then it will take you to a dialog box where you should choose sort by sales USD and order largest to smallest.
Thank you, sir. Clear.
Yeah, no problem. So this is our people. We have created a beautiful chart and we have understood how to make a beautiful chart from a raw data, what are the elements we need to take it, how to make the minimum formatting, and how to present our data effectively. Finally, in a storytelling format, we got that clarity on it. So any difficulties or any queries as such, anybody? All right. So now, did you like your chart, whatever we have prepared? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Though you liked it, people, the audience will not like it. Yes, we did so many things, but audience is not going to like it. Yes. Where the thing it has gone wrong, if you look at our data, this area, people don't like to read the data by bending their head with another 30 to 45-degree to read your all the text. So this is the place where it has gone wrong. So how to rectify that? Over here, just see. So here we can't rectify because our text is too much. Our text is too heavy. So when you have lengthy text like this, you have to face a problem like that. So what is the ideal way then? Where it is gone wrong? So for our data purpose, people, we have to take over here. Since our data is too much and we want to emphasize, this is not the right format of your chart. So the selection process, it has gone wrong. For this data, this is not a right chart. So how to present it effectively? Just see. Select your chart and go for Control D, D for duplicate. Okay. Now this duplicate one, you can keep it in the bottom. And the original chart, whatever you have, right click upon that, go for change chart type. Okay. There, when you go for change chart type, it will take you to your entire chart family where you'll be finding a option called bar is there. And select this bar option from the left side category and choose OK. So with immediate effect, you'll be finding a beautiful chart will turn up. People are not going to struggle in reading the text data over here. And problem will be now only thing is with regard to your text. So in this case, no doubt text is looking good, but the problem will be still there. People will be objecting. If you look at the data is having largest to smallest order, but in case of charts, the data is having smallest to largest order. So this is the place where the data is not having a sync with the chart. So this is the place where people taking the objection. So now the question is how to make it better. Okay, just say, don't go and do the sorting again. Here, the experts, they will suggest you do this or like this, but don't do that. I'll tell you, just right click on this text, whatever in the left side, go for format access, right? Now you can see in the extreme bottom, categories in the reverse order, one checkbox is there that is not activated. So kindly activate now. And with immediate effect, you will be getting your entire proper view, whatever you are looking for. So our data is in the largest to smallest order since our data is the first over here. Okay. So this is how we have understood how to prepare a beautiful chart, what is the formatting you should do, and how to take a right call on the charts. All these things are clear. So that's our quick chart sheet history. Any doubt, any queries in quick chart sheet, people? You can ask me before proceeding further. Or any questions from anybody? Fine. So quick chart. Is it clear? Working for all? Yes, no, at least something.
Yes.
Right. Now we'll go for our combo chart. We'll go for combo chart. This is one of the essential chart type people in your routine activities whenever you have multiple columns in place and how to present it in proper series form over there in our chart. And how do you, and why do you call it as a combo chart? We're going to discuss everything. So let's first discuss with the data. Month-wise sales INR data is there, and in terms of percentage, the value is being populated. Select your data and plot your graph. So first thing first, as I told you, what is that? Going to chart design, last style. Then click on the plus symbol, remove the grid lines. Now, look at the chart, you don't need to do anything. In our chart, if you see, there is a sales data over your one legend is there, and this is nothing but the blue color bars populated. Okay. There is one more legend over here, sales percentage, but can you see anywhere the sign of sales percentage? No. Then where it has gone?
No.
It is there. It is there somewhere sitting in the bottom of your axis. If you look at over here entirely in the bottom of the axis, small patches kind of look. Can you see? It is sitting in the bottom. So it is not giving a value to our data. So how to present it effectively? Just see. Now, what is happening with that? First of all, take a look. In our case, our sales data is there in terms of numbers, but our case it is there in terms of values. No problem. But sales percentage, if you look at, it is there in percentage value. So these are two different format. Cannot be combined with one axis over there here. So it cannot be combined with one axis. Okay. That's why we need to create one more axis to the right side of our ribbon dam, or you can say in the chart plot anything. And this is the place where your sales in percentage data will be populating over here. Okay. And that becomes my secondary axis, or in Excel language, we call it as a combo chart. All right. So why combo chart is necessary or essential? You got a clarity? Yes. Is it clear? All right. Now, once we have done this, then how to make it? Just see. Simple. Right click on the chart area, change chart type, and there in the extreme bottom left, can you see one combo option is there? So when you go to this combo, you notice cells in INR showing clustered column. Let be. Okay. Now, if you look at sales data, it is showing clustered column. Let it be. No need to do any changes. Sales percentage, it shows line. Instead of line, go for this drop down and choose line with markers. And when you go for line with markers, can you see in the immediate right, one secondary axis purpose, one checkbox is there. Okay. Now this checkbox you can activate, which is immediate right to the second chart axis over here. And now click OK, and you got your records ready. So Blue color bars are nothing but sales in INR. Maroon color lines are nothing but our sales INR in the percentage. Okay. So this is called nothing but combo chart. Very, very helpful people. Whenever you have many more data in place, you can always classify to retain something in your primary axis and showcase something in your secondary axis. So combo chart, is it clear? Check. Working. Any doubt, any queries from anybody? Right. Now we'll go for one more essential chart type people, naming called budget versus actuals or target versus actuals or planned versus actuals. So this kind of charts are recurring in nature every month end, quarter end, half yearly, yearly, whatever the presentations you make it, you need this kind of chart to present it. Okay. Now let's go for that. And with minimum efforts, how to create a beautiful chart we are going to discuss. So start working with me. Select our data, and plot a graph, right? What is the shortcut for plotting the graph? Alt F1. First thing first, as I said, going to design and take the last tile. Then click the plus symbol, remove the grid lines. So kindly confirm once it is done. Now, right click on the chart area, right click on the chart area. You got option change chart type, and then over here, straight away go to combo, target data. If you see target, it shows clustered column. Ideally, target data, it was ideal to express in line format. So go for the drop down and choose line with markers. The fourth option of the line category, line with markers. Similarly, actuals, it shows line instead of line, go for the combination called column. Extreme top, you can go and discuss about the columns. So go for the first option and this becomes a very beautiful chart. Now click OK and with immediate effect, you will be finding your target versus actual is ready with minimum efforts. Kindly check and confirm. Are you getting the same? So any difficulties, anybody? All clear? All right. Now, here one thing I would like to say, just stay focused. See, this is what, as I told you, this kind of presentations are recurring in nature. Now, suppose say last month you have presented something to your audience. Audience is quite happy, no doubt. But next month when you are going to present it, giving some add-on to the data or something you are changing over here, giving more to the data. If the same chart type would be there, do you think that you can create that much of impact? No, because people have seen already last time, so they will not be having that much of curiosity to learn, I mean, again, to witness the same. So how to make something different, how to give a different meaning to the presentation so that people would be happy watching the same. Take a look. Select the chart, make it as control D, D for duplicate, control D. Okay. And then in the chart, right click and go for our change chart type. And in the combo, target is showing already line with markers. Let it be. No need to do any changes. Actuals that you go for where it's showing clustered column, instead you can go for line with markers. And when you go for line with markers and click OK, so this is one more version of your target versus actuals. So now sometimes show like this, and next time when you go for it, show something different. So people will be happy watching the same. They got something different to view, right? So this is how minimum efforts, how to spend and create a beautiful budget versus actuals or target versus actuals. We saw that. Any questions, anybody? All right. So budget versus the actuals, is it working fine for all? Any doubt, any queries before proceeding further? Or anybody is not getting need my support, do let me know. Fine. I'll tell you one thing over here, people. Whenever you prepare the chart, okay, some do's and don'ts to keep your chart area hygiene or clean. I'll tell you one thing. What you should do, never ever take this kind of combinations like going for this. And I have seen many more time people what they do, they go for this chart and they take this kind of colorful. Don't take any kind of background like this. Or do not take the chart designs from over here going for this kind of charts also. Sometimes people take this. Don't take this kind of charts because if you are presenting, maybe you would be liking all such kind of combinations, but audience doesn't like it. And whenever you would like to take a printout also, it will be consuming a lot of ink, which is in the background, black ink. Technically, people don't require that. And if you keep your background neat and clean, what will be happening, whatever you plotted in that canvas, automatically it will be looking good and standing out of the crowd. So do not ever use any kind of background of your chart. Okay. Now, what are the other chart types mostly we need in our routine activities and how to present it? Let's discuss. There is a sheet called pie chart. There is a sheet called pie chart. Let's go for that. Sometimes what it happens, even though you create a very beautiful chart in terms of column, line, bar, but people are not happy. They want only pie chart because they don't want to leave their comfort zone. So that's why even if you try hard to convince them, they will not be convinced. So if that is the case, then how to present it? First of all, personally, I don't like pie chart. Pie chart has a biggest drawback. What is that, If you have multiple series, you cannot show in pie chart. Second, if you have some negative value, you cannot plot it in pie chart also. So this is the only reason why nowadays people prefer more to the bar chart compared to pie chart. Okay. So now, though it is their demand, let's see how to present it. Select your data and go to insert. In the chart category, we have option called pie. Now, once you select it, you can see the very first option is your 2D pie and a pie chart is ready. Okay. So first thing first, once your pie chart is ready, you should go to your design and take the last tile. Now it will be generating a legend, which is there in the bottom side. You could see month-wise legend, Jan, Feb, April, May, and all. So you can select the same and delete it because this is not going to play any role. Okay. Now the chart title, ideally we discussed it should be idle when you go forward and keep it in the right side. Okay. Now to make it more informative, what you need to do, you should always go for right click in the pie area and go for add data labels. So you'll be finding some data labels are inside the pie or some are outside or all maybe inside, could be the case, you never know. But ideally, pie chart, the data labels we should express outside of the pie area. So to make it happen, select one of the data label. All the data labels should be in selection, right? Right click upon the same. You got an option called format data labels. And you will be finding a dialog box is going to open in front of your screen from the right side. And there we can choose what exactly like. In the extreme bottom, if you look at label position, it shows by default best fit. Instead, go for outside end. So all the labels will be outside of the pie area. This is the first change. Then make it bold. Control B. Increase the font size a little bit to make it readable. Control Shift greater than symbol. In day two, I told you in the shape while working in our data that sorting area. Okay. So control shift greater than symbol, keep hitting to increase the font size. And now pie chart, always remember that your data labels should be expressed in percentage, not in terms of values. So here, if you look at value is already in selection, exactly below to that, can you see one percentage, one option is there, checkbox is not activated. You can activate that and immediately along with the data, your value percentage also will be embedded. But there is no point having the data labels now, having these values. So to remove the same over here, you can go and deactivate value. So only percentage will be there. But mere percentage alone is not going to help. People may again demand like what is this red color, what is this blue color? Before they ask, we have to give it. But how to give it? Here, there's an option called category name. One checkbox is there, category name, and go and just activate this category. Okay. So each and every month name will be embedded in our data labels. But the problem is it is not looking so great because it is appearing in two different lines. So how to give a neat and clean look? See, there is a button over here called separator, and in the extreme right separator there is a drop down and choose the option over here. Okay, go to the last option. What it says? Space. So when you go for space option to select, can you see all your data labels now? It is coming up with a perfect line. So all these changes are happening in one window only. You don't need to go and find out in anywhere else. So everything is in one window. You got it. So kindly confirm all of you have got this ready. Now, once we have done with this, take a look. Whatever we have done so far, anybody can do that. It's not a rocket science or something different we have done that people will be happy watching the same. So now the time has come how to make our presentation different from others. Technically, I'll tell you one thing, stay focused. Whenever you create a pie chart, identify the maximum occupancy of the pie, like which pie has got the maximum occupancy. If you look at, in our case, uh, Feb 15% is there, November 13%, May 16% is there. So May month is having the maximum occupancy, right? So this pie, technically, it has to be placed facing towards top left corner over here. So where November is there, technically your May month should appear over there. The latest style says it like this, but how to bring it? So basically we have to rotate the pie. But how to rotate the pie? Just say right click anywhere in the pie area. You have an option, format data series. And then you will be finding one option over here having a marker on the bar. So you need to just slowly drag this marker upon the bar. And when you do it, can you see it starts rotating? Okay. Somewhere around 135 or 134, you could see it is facing exactly to the top left corner as we discussed. And now once it is done, close this window. Now keep your cursor outside once. Now go and select that May month pie. You can find that Enter along with the May month, rest of the pies are also in selection. Again, select one more time May month pie. Now you can find only May month pie only in selection. Okay. Now, what you need to do, like the moment you go to your dining purpose to Pizza Hut or Domino's or you order at home, how do you take a slice out? Similarly, hold your May month pie and bring it out. And that makes a beautiful story stating that out of the entire 12 months of data, during the month of May, we got the maximum revenue. So this is how, whenever we need people, how to present our data in a pie chart in a beautiful fashion, and how to present our story over there in a beautiful format. So whoever is watching my data, they will be very happy watching the same. Hope it is clear. Pie chart, how to present it. Any doubt, any queries, anybody? So is it clear? Working for all? Any doubt, any queries? All right. Now I'll take you through one more chart type. You might be noticing that sometimes from your American or European counterparts, they will be sending you this kind of charts called benchmark. There is no such kind of chart called benchmark. Okay. This is a coin term. And technically, this is nothing but the other versions of your target versus actuals or budget versus actuals. So what is the beauty over here is this kind of markers. This is adding more beauty. So that's why people name it as a benchmark chart. But technically, these are nothing but same target versus actuals only. Okay. Now, coming to one more chart type. Again, one more essential chart. Stay focused. So whenever we have our chart people, as I told you, this is quite recurring in nature, and sometimes some charts we keep presenting on monthly basis, right? Now, suppose that we have got Jan to December data. I'm deleting March to December. So I have got Jan and Feb. When I plot my graph, okay, my data is plotting graph, no doubt about it. But tomorrow, when I complete my March month and fill the result, do you see my March data is coming up inside the chart area? No. So what we do in that case, we select the chart, then we realize our data range is not extended. So we go and manually extend like this. Now, what we do? wrong. But this action is quite recurring in nature. Every month end, I have to go and slightly enhance the range. Now, in this case, you can ask me a question, Prabhas, what if I take an anonymous range like this? What will be happening? It would be also creating some unwanted spaces like this. So it leads to a lot of question in the audience mind that they will be asking, Prabhas, why there are so many spaces over here? Can I say that sir, we are yet to uh, close our financial year. That's why uh, this kind of spaces are coming up. So we are awaiting for our data to come up. Is this the right way to express? No way. So this is the reason why people, whatever the practice we have developed today, we are going to stop. So now what you need to do is select your data and convert your data into table. So I told you in day 3 and day 1 as well. What is the shortcut? Control T. Now plot your graph. Alt F1. Now see the beauty, whatever the changes you have to do, you have learned so far, you can do start doing it like going to design and take the last tile, then remove the grid lines, then multicolor effect, format data series, fill, vary colors by point. Then go for over here. Then this range, we don't need it. Data labels, and we can make it bold and increase the font size a bit. Month name, if necessary, that also we can select and increase. And chart title, we know that we should retain in the right side of the chart area. Now take a look. So tomorrow when I complete my business for the month of March, so I can just go and fill the month right now for the time being. March is coming up. April, if I go and add it, this is also there. May coming up, June. So I don't need to worry about my chart entry. Now, can you see automatically the same labels are coming up, equal interval, data labels, colorful changes are happening, everything is happening. And what is the benefit of doing this? Is any point of time, if you want to showcase your quarterly information, you can simply go to month and choose May and June. You can select like this and just show only the quarterly data. So unwanted data we are not showing to the people, unwanted questions are not going to come, and you can make your presentation better over here. So this is how whenever you have the data, you can convert the data into table and you can turn up with a beautiful chart. Okay. So taking live data, keep practicing about the chart people. Chart is something is a presentation and presentation is an art. And those art you have to develop by looking at some great presentations of the Big Fours or McKinsey and Co, Bain and Company, or the Boston Consulting Group. So presentations, if you look at, you'll be getting many more ideas how to present our data in a different way so that people would be happy watching the same. All right. So any doubt, any queries from the charts, people? All right. So I believe it's clear whatever we discussed.